If you've read the headlines about Elon Musk's new AI,
Macrohard, and felt that little knot in your stomach, the one that says, "This is the thing that finally does my job," I get it. That's the exact reaction it was engineered to produce. So I went and read the trademark filing, the Reuters reporting, and the leaked details on how it's actually being built. And here's the surprising part. The most talked about AI company of the year might also be the emptiest. And that gap is the real story.
Welcome back to bitbiased.ai, where we do the research so you don't have to. Join our community of AI enthusiasts with our free weekly newsletter. Click the link in the description below to subscribe. You will get the key AI news, tools, and learning resources to stay ahead.
in this video, I'll give you the honest breakdown of what Macrohard really is.
What's real versus what's a tweet, and whether you should be worried or just curious, so you can walk away knowing more than the people who only read the headline. We'll go through the tech, the timeline, the safety questions everyone's skipping, and how it stacks up against OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic. And we'll start with the most basic question, because almost every article gets it slightly wrong. What is Macrohard actually? Let's clear this up first because the name is doing a lot of work. Macrohard is a joke, a jab at Microsoft. The idea Musk is selling is a purely AI-driven software company, a system that could, in his words, emulate the function of an entire company that only makes software. Notice I said in his words. That's a claim, not a benchmark, and I'll keep drawing that line all the way through. Mechanically, here's the pitch. You pair xAI's large language model, Grok, with a second piece built at Tesla, an agent that literally watches your computer screen and then clicks, types, scrolls, and switches between apps the way a person would. Not through clean APIs, at the pixel level. It sees the screen and it moves the mouse. And that framing, watching a screen and taking action, is the whole ballgame. So before you decide whether to be impressed, you need to understand how those two pieces are supposed to talk to each other. Because that's where the ambition really shows. How it works, the two-brain setup. Musk describes it as a dual process system. And honestly, the analogy is a decent one. Think of it like the two speeds of your own thinking. There's the slow, deliberate brain, that's Grok, sitting in the cloud, figuring out what needs to happen. Pull the sales numbers, update the forecast, email it to the team. Then there's the fast, reflexive brain, a Tesla-built agent processing the last few seconds of screen video in real time and actually executing the clicks. If that structure sounds familiar, it should. It's the same philosophy Tesla uses for self-driving. Video comes in, actions come out, running on custom silicon in real time. So the concept isn't science fiction. Tesla has genuinely shipped real-time video-to-action systems before. The open question, and hold on to this because we come back to it, is whether driving a car and running a company's software are the same difficulty of problem. Musk is betting they're close. I'm not so sure, and I'll tell you why later. For now, let's talk about what he claims it'll actually do. What can it do? The use cases. On paper, the answer is almost anything you do at a desk. Writing and debugging code inside a real IDE, filling spreadsheets, reading a calendar and drafting the emails. And the big one Musk keeps returning to, running the back office of an entire company. Accounting, HR, the repetitive digital plumbing that quietly keeps businesses alive. Picture the demo they want you to imagine. You type, update the quarterly forecast, and the thing opens Excel on its own, pulls figures from a database, rewrites the model, and sends the email, while you go get coffee. Here's your reality check, and it's the first big one. Every example I just gave is a described capability, not a filmed demo. As of now, there is no public benchmark, no independent test, no side-by-side against anything. Compare that to Anthropic's Claude Cowork or Microsoft's Copilot, which you can actually go use today. Macrohard lives in the same category as those, an AI agent doing office work. But it's the only one in that sentence you can't currently touch. If that distinction matters to you, and it should, do me a favor and drop a comment with the word described. I want to see how many of you are tracking the hype versus shipped gap as closely as I am. Now, how big is this thing supposed to be? The tech specs. How big is it really? We don't have official numbers, so let's estimate honestly and label the guesses as guesses. Grok's current generation lands somewhere around 500 billion parameters. Musk says newer versions push past 1 trillion, and he's talked about future Grok models in the 6 to 10 trillion range. If those roadmap numbers land, Grok sits in the same weight class as Google's largest models, genuinely frontier scale. To train models that size, xAI built a supercomputer called Colossus, on the order of a couple 100,000 Nvidia H100 GPUs, stood up in under 5 months. That is a legitimately staggering amount of compute, and it's one of the few parts of this story that's concrete rather than promised. The hardware is real. Musk has the silicon and the cluster.
So the raw ingredients check out, but raw scale has never been the same thing as a working product. Plenty of huge models have underdelivered, which brings us to the piece that's actually the most interesting and the most underdiscussed: the chips doing the everyday work. The hardware angle. Tesla's chip versus Nvidia. Here's where Macrohard gets genuinely clever, and I'll give credit where it's due. For the moment-to-moment work, watching your screen, reacting fast, Musk says it'll lean on Tesla's own AI-4 chip, the same kind that's already sitting inside the cars. Those chips aren't as powerful as a top-end Nvidia GPU, but they're cheap, they sip power, and there are millions of them already out in the world. And that leads to the wildest claim in the whole story: parked Teslas as a distributed AI workforce. The idea is that a car sitting at a supercharger, doing nothing, could be running office tasks in the background, turning idle vehicles into a data center on wheels.
Now, is that visionary, or is that a pitch deck? Genuinely, I go back and forth. The engineering logic is sound. Use cheap edge chips for the fast stuff, rent big cloud GPUs for the heavy stuff. But your car does your accounting while it charges is exactly the kind of line that gets a standing ovation at an investment forum, and a lot of quiet caveats from the engineers afterward. File it under plausible, unproven. Speaking of unproven, how do you even teach a machine to do this? The training data, and the part that got paused. To learn language and code, Grok eats the usual diet: web text, code repositories, the whole internet fire hose. For scale context, Meta trained Llama 3 on around 15 trillion tokens. Macrohard's language backbone is almost certainly in that territory or beyond. But teaching an agent to use software like a human needs a different kind of data. Video of humans actually using computers. And this is where reporting gets uncomfortable. According to a Business Insider report, xAI recruited hundreds of contractors to screen record themselves working and even playing games, so the model could learn to imitate real human clicking and typing. Here's the detail almost nobody mentions. That data collection effort was reportedly paused after problems were found with it. Sit with that for a second. The single most novel, most essential ingredient, the human behavior data that separates Macrohard from just another chatbot, is the exact part that reportedly hit a wall. That's not a footnote. For a skepticism first read, that's one of the loudest signals in the entire story about how mature this really is. Which is the perfect moment to talk about the thing everyone's dodging: safety. Safety and alignment, the question nobody's answering. Let me frame the stakes plainly, because they're different here. A chatbot that says something dumb is embarrassing. An agent with full control of your screen, your files, your emails, your company's systems, that makes a mistake, is a completely different category of problem. So what's the safety plan? For comparison, OpenAI put GPT-4 through months of human feedback tuning, and Google ran Gemini through extensive external red teaming before release. For Macrohard, Musk has said it's very real. That's it. There is no public alignment plan, no published safety process, no third-party audit that I could find. And the risks aren't hypothetical. If it can open your software, it can misread a command and corrupt real data. It sees everything on your screen. So privacy is baked into the problem, not bolted on. And a system with this much access is a juicy target for anyone malicious. I'm not saying Tesla and xAI are ignoring this. Enterprise customers will force controls before they touch it. I'm saying that as of today, the safety story is a blank page. And on a project this ambitious, a blank page is a finding. So when is any of this supposed to actually happen? The timeline. What's real so far? Let's build a timeline from things that actually happened, not things that were promised. In August 2025, Musk floated Macrohard in a post, and xAI filed the trademark on August 1st. That's documented. In early 2026, Reuters reported Tesla agreeing to invest around $2 billion into xAI. Then, on March 11th, 2026, Tesla and xAI publicly unveiled the project. Musk's stated target, a usable experience roughly 6 months out. Call it around September 2026. Now, the part the press releases skip. Reporting also indicates the project has already shuffled leadership and hit scaling problems internally. And remember, the key training data effort reportedly got paused. So you've got a public-facing timeline that says 6 months, and a behind-the-scenes picture that says, this is harder than the tweet suggested. When those two things disagree, I tend to trust the messy version, which naturally raises the question everyone asks second. What will it cost? Pricing and access. Honest speculation. Short version? Nobody knows. And anyone who tells you a number is guessing. But we can reason about it. XAI already sells Grok through a paid API and subscriptions. So a Macrohard API or enterprise product would fit that pattern. The more interesting angle is the Tesla one, bundling it into the car, the way full self-driving is sold, or offering fleets of working parked vehicles to businesses. My honest read, whatever this ends up being, it starts expensive and enterprise first, because the compute is expensive, and the early buyers will be companies, not individuals. Don't expect a free consumer app on day one. All right, the question I know a lot of you actually came for. How does it stack up against the real shipping competition? Macrohard versus everyone else. Let's be fair and specific across 4 dimensions. On raw model capability, Grok is closing the gap with the frontier. If those trillion-plus parameter numbers are real, it's competitive with Google's Gemini and OpenAI's GPT line. But, and I can't say this enough, capability on paper isn't capability in a benchmark, and Macrohard hasn't been benchmarked at all. The others have. On safety, this is the widest gap, and it's not close. OpenAI and Anthropic have built their entire reputations on published alignment work. Macrohard's alignment plan is, as far as the public knows, undisclosed. That's a real strike against it, not a nitpick. On compute, this is where Macrohard could genuinely win. Nobody else has millions of cheap, power-efficient chips already deployed in the field. If the parked car idea even half works, the cost per task could undercut everyone. That's the most credible piece of the moat. On ecosystem, it's the opposite problem. OpenAI and Google are everywhere. Your phone, your browser, your search bar. Macrohard is tied to Tesla's world. If you own a Tesla, maybe you get in early. If you don't, you wait. So the honest scorecard reads, real hardware advantage, real scale ambition, a genuinely clever compute idea, wrapped around a product nobody outside the company has seen work, with a safety story that's still blank. Hold that shape in your head, because it tells you exactly how much the market impact is real versus anticipated. Market impact, why the stocks moved. Here's something concrete that did happen. When this news landed, right around the time Anthropic shipped its own agent product, software stocks got rattled. Investors reacted. And that reaction tells you something true, even if Macrohard itself is still vapor. The market believes agentic AI can disrupt how software businesses make money. And that belief moves real dollars today. If Macrohard delivers even part of the pitch, the effects ripple outward. Companies could shrink software teams. Vendors selling accounting or HR tools suddenly compete with an AI that does the same job at near zero marginal cost. And Tesla reframes its entire fleet as latent compute, a genuinely new business model for consumer hardware. But notice what I just did. Every one of those is conditional, if it delivers. The near-term reality, if it ships at all, is narrow. Automating boring, repetitive office flows, probably piloted inside Tesla first before it's ever sold to you. The revolution gets announced all at once. It arrives one dull spreadsheet at a time. And every revolution like this drags a set of risks behind it that the launch event never mentions. Risks and regulation, the unsexy part that matters. Quickly, because these are the questions that'll actually shape whether Macrohard is allowed to exist at scale. If it controls software, a mistake isn't a typo. It's potentially corrupted financial data or a misconfigured server. It sees sensitive data by design. And regulators are circling. Under the EU's AI Act, an autonomous system doing workplace tasks likely gets flagged as high risk, which means transparency and human oversight requirements. In the US, expect demands for audit trails. And given Musk's stated goal of challenging Microsoft while folding Tesla and XAI together, antitrust attention isn't far-fetched. None of this kills the project, but it does mean the timeline that lives in a tweet and the timeline that survives contact with regulators are 2 very different timelines. So let me bring this all the way back to where we started. The verdict, answering the question we opened with. Remember the knot in your stomach from the top of the video? Is this the thing that does my job? Here's my honest answer after going through all of it. Not yet, and not soon in the way the headlines imply. What actually exists today is a name, a trademark, a real supercomputer, a genuinely interesting hardware idea, and a very confident promise. What doesn't exist yet is a single public demo, a benchmark, a safety plan, or even fully collected training data, the piece that reportedly got paused. That's not me dismissing it. The compute is real and the ambition is serious. It's me refusing to grade a promise as if it were a product.
So should you be worried or curious? Curious. Watch it closely, take the capability claims as claims until someone independent tests them, and ignore anyone, hype merchant or doomer, who tells you it's already settled. The truth is genuinely undecided, and that's exactly why it's worth tracking. This is the kind of story where the gap between the announcement and the reality is the analysis. And staying on the right side of that gap is the whole reason this channel exists. If this breakdown gave you a clearer picture than the headlines did, that's the whole job here. And the best way to keep these coming is to hit subscribe, because I'm tracking every one of these agent launches the same way. What shipped, what's just a tweet, and what it means for you. Drop your take in the comments. Is Macrohard the future of work, or the most expensive press release of the year? I read them, and the best ones shape the next video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.